Well, kumusta kayong mga idol? Ang ating mga panood sa video ito ang laban Timothy Bradley versus Manuel Marquez. Pero bago natin umpisa nitong bago pa lang sa aming munting channel, kalimutan mag-subscribe at pakihit ang notification bell sa all para lagi tayo updated sa bago natin i-upload tulad dito. Maraming salamat po. Pero bago natin umpisa ng bakbakang ito ay mag-intro muna tayo mga idol. Ating balikan naging laban Timothy Bradley versus Manuel Marquez at alamin kung paano nga ba tinalo ni Timothy Bradley ang kanyang kabakbakan na si Manuel Marquez sa kanilang bakbakan.
1. There's equanimity. Both guys are dark trunks, you know the fight is.
I mean, even more than usual in a fight because of what happened in that Bradley fight to Bradley.
Really has a lot of pop in his punches now that he's a welterweight.
Tim has got perfect.
Marquez, you know, his mind is going at 110% to try to set something.
Him a couple times with the uppercut and the hook so far.
You know, no matter how Marquez has built up his body, which he has, you can see that Bradley is a naturally bigger.
2. Well, Timothy Bradley, and of course one, Manuel Marquez.
Timothy Bradley coming up popping those jabs.
The left shoulder, dip, blast to the liver.
Giving him different looks.
To start than he did the first.
Landed that final hole, loaded up the right, didn't quite connect. I want to come straight in to Marquez. We talked about him being a counterpuncher, and you're right, Mario. He's one of the best. He got ripped to the body that time and Tim coming in. Another difficult round.
Get the feeling that he's trying to set something up, trying to define what is he doing, where can I get him?
Here's a Bradley shot with a nice right hand over the top.
3. Of course, multi-champion, multi-divisional champion records. Bradley's 8-0 in championship fights.
And Marquez could play off that.
On paper, he bites down on that mouthpiece and chooses to exchange, then that's when he can get into trouble.
But that's not how he's fought.
Punch him, but Tim's head was rolling. There's nothing on that punch. Tim makes him miss again. Beautifully slips the punch.
He's rolling with the punches. It looks like he's getting hit, but he's rolling with them pretty well.
Still ends. That to me is a definite Bradley round. This is round 4. Little Bob Sheridan here with Larry Merchant. Glad that you're going to be with well. 4. Wow, with a punch, a little frustration by Marquez. So don't be surprised. You know, if he comes back and lands some shot, could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
If you pull it off, it'll help.
Or you try it. You get caught, you get caught. They're going to find you. Round 4. That's why I love the referees with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, because they...
But, you know, that's the issue here, because certainly Marquez is not... The beard is on Marquez.
It's all like Vaseline, actually.
Combination of gray hair and Vaseline.
Oh, it's the Vaseline.
But not much happened there in all honesty. Another nice exchange. Tim landed the 5.
In the first round. And since then, I haven't given him a...
You know, we're all... I know that isn't what Tim wants to do. It's certainly not what he...
Good hard jab.
Oh, no question, Larry.
Unlike, he has nothing, you know.
He just hit him with... This is...
Which is so hard to count him out. We sit here on the edge of our seat as Bradley's controlling these rounds, but at any moment, as we saw Marquez's last fight, could change.
How quickly we saw in a round near this one. Downstairs he goes. Tim throws with it. Now Marquez opens up. They trade Tim. 6. But it's wide as it's been all night. Tim in and out. As he did the last round at this stage.
Good lead right hand. Finally landed.
Marquez.
Colonel, but I think you're right. I think he'll have his moment, you know, catch him.
Is what we're here to find out.
I'm more concerned about the beating.
Well, you know, Sugar Ray Robinson famously said that you know you're getting older when they're in their prime, they're punching as the openings develop.
There's another big.
He's been successful, you know, in the last couple of seconds.
7.
That ends the.
I wondered about going into this fight. How could he take a punch after that concussion?
Value his progress against Alvarado in a place called Denver, Colorado, in the United States of America.
And that's going to be two men in their prime, potential barn burner.
It's an interesting graphic we got up there for you. Knockouts after round 6. Marquez, 18. Bradley, 1. Wait a minute, that's a 19.
Experience of Marquez, of course.
It's the condition. Mario, sorry.
Find someplace comfortable a little closer.
Tim is beautiful, though. In and out, in and out. Wow, with that shot. He took the shot. Look at the job he does defensively. But you know something, Larry? That punch to me doesn't look as crisp, but look pretty dramatic. But I don't know how much is left on his punches. You had the best line. What was the fighter that said, you know, your mind's there, you're afraid of that punch?
Somebody named Robinson.
Yes, Sugar Ray Robinson.
And could there be something except for the fact that
Point. But we know how hard he trains and how professional Marquez is.
Remember, still a 40-year-old body that has been in 60 wars.
Eight.
Pacquiao.
and maybe not open up that story anymore.
All right, here we go, round 8. Stopping up, as I've said a couple of times in Las Vegas, pick up a paycheck and thumb his way up to Canastota, New York, where he'll go into the Hall of Fame 5 years after he quits fighting.
Good right hand.
Michael Moore winning every round.
And what George did was trap him. He was setting a trap. Is Marquez capable of setting a trap and changing the course of the fight?
You know, with George is different because George throws clubbing punches at a heavyweight his size. The last thing to go is the punch.
We don't see some consistent pattern. He's changed up. That he saw a tell from Pacquiao that unleashed that big punch. Yeah.
This is a tough puzzle to figure out.
Went right back, stepped outside, regrouped. Now he's almost inviting Marquez back. And he doesn't look great.
You know, I was mentioning earlier, it was hard for me to define him. Is he a boxer? Is he a brawler? But what he is sort of...
Marquez looks a little bit frustrated, like he's not able to land the shots. He's thinking about it.
Well,
Almost like he's getting frustrated in there.
You're right, Dick. He's very frustrated. Therefore, he's going after him.
9.
Round 9, Thomas and Mack. Juan Manuel Marquez, future Hall of Famer. Tim Bradley, the book hasn't been finished yet.
Well, he needs to step out of his comfort zone if he has any intention of wanting to be victorious at this point, in my opinion.
I think Mario, jab, hook. Actually, his punches look as crisp now as at any time in the fight. I see it with a little more hand speed. Maybe it's an adrenaline flow. I don't know what it is. It can't be experienced. It was 9.5.
This is Marquez's best round since the first round.
And no question it is. But this is a different Marquez than his Larry said, doing all that feeling out earlier. Tim's doing is not getting sucked into the wall. All he has to do is box.
Barely missing with that uppercut.
Neither fighter is shaken. Nobody bloody. Marquez being aggressive here in the 9th round.
A nice uppercut. There it is again, and a nice hook by Marquez. This is definitely his best round of the fight. A nice right hand.
He hurt him. He hurt Tim. His legs are a little looser than his. Tim is in such great shape.
10.
Chance of Mexico from the crowd.
He's got to drop him, or he's got to hurt him, or he can't win this fight. There's the crowd, you want. Here he comes. He nails him. Marquez, I thought he was off balance and maybe would go down, but it was more a balance situation.
Marquez stalking, trying to still counterpunch.
Tim bending way over, so he really can't do anything if you want to break your hand.
And I'm surprised Marquez hasn't adjusted a little bit and gone for the uppercut a little bit more.
You can see the courage, but I don't see the electricity. That was a decent right hand. I wouldn't fight with him, Mario, over this one. Bradley bending over with the right than that have given Marquez this round.
Slip, of course.
That's a slip because of the point in the hand against the reigning champ, Tim Bradley.
Now, these have been very close rounds, and we discussed that the judges may have been seeing it in different ways.
Because I have it 98-92 doesn't mean the judges don't have it even the other way. Remember, our scoring is unofficial. We're just trying to give you an indication of what we think the judges might be doing.
Christina just showed me some scores from press row.
I respect their
I do too. I absolutely do. The best journalists in the world. I sit down with Dan Raphael before every fight, and Kevin Iole and I sit in the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame together, so I respect him a lot. But again, 2 rounds ago, he left his fight plan and made a big adjustment. But he hasn't been able to. Tim, it's been a fast-paced situation, moving in and out with a hand counter early. Bradley doesn't look great right now, I'll tell you.
A young Marquez would make this really interesting right now, but does he have enough in the tank to maybe close it out strong these next couple rounds?
Obviously, they believe, as does Dan Raphael and Kevin Iole, that their man is ahead. We'll find out. As there's one thing for sure.
This is it, the 12th round.
This is what we came for.
To end with a draw.
I got a 107, 102. He'd have to knock him out of my score sheet or knock him down a couple of times. Tim is too smart for that this time around, I think. But it's not the nature of a fight.
up losing the fight. That was Delahoe against Trinidad.
Yes.
Great example, Larry.
Gil Clancy told me that it was the greatest mistake of his life, his title, rather than to win it in these last rounds.
Getting up again. Marquez on the assault, trying to catch it. Happening in boxing scoring recently. Let's hope this isn't the case tonight.
And it's a mistake if he wants to win the fans' approval, which he so desperately seeks, or so that he says.
He feels he did that against Providnikov, and he just wants to win.
Wait for me, in case the judges have it a whole lot closer than we do. Marquez is winning this round.
Was letting his hands go, and he was a busy fighter, and he was overwhelming Bradley. That hasn't been the case tonight.
See, Mario, he's got all the right intentions, but he's still missing. See that?
He's had his moments, and I still think he's done enough to win this round.
All right, here they go. They flashed him, and he almost dropped it. How about that? Don't put your hands down. He all go up, or you'll know in a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, by way of Wynn Las Vegas, we go to the scorecards. Glenn Philbin scores the contest 115 to 113. He scores it for Marquez. Robert Hoyle scores it 115-113, and he has it for Bradley. Patricia Morse Jarman scores the contest 116 to 112 to the winner by split decision. And still, WBO welterweight champion of the world from Palm Springs, California, USA, Timothy Desert.
This man retains the title, and our judging gave the fans the indication of exactly the way.
Hanggang dito na lang po ang ating video. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panood, walang sawang suporta. Ikaw, idol, anong masasabi mo sa bakbakang ito? Para sa inyong opinion, i-comment mo niyan sa ating comment section sa ibaba. At kung nagustuhan mo naman ang video ito, paiwan naman ako ng like at pasubscribe na rin sa ating munting channel. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Sama kayo na rin lang, mag-ingat, God bless. Bye bye.